What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All Drink to That podcast. We're back, y'all. I had to bring the podcast back. I used to have so much fun making this, guys. So I had to bring us back with a banger. In this podcast, we always talk about streamers, their content creation journeys, and just learn about a new streamer every week. So today, we're going to talk about one of my brothers, one of my teammates in Global Alteration, one hell of a Fortnite player, and that is going to be Zxykken.
Hey,
Say what's up to everybody, Brody.
what's going on? What's up, everybody? How we doing today? It's your boy Zxykken here. What's up, everybody?
And as always, I'm gonna give Zxykken a second to introduce himself. But as always, as we do so, I'm gonna do my beer chug. So let's go ahead and get into that. You have until this beer chug's over to intro yourself.
Oh,
So,
I got you.
Let's see how it's cold, so it might take a little bit. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, well, I'm Zxykken. I'm owner and leader of the Vibe Club here on Twitch. We home of the greatest vibes and community of homies around. Basically, we play Fortnite, any variety game really, and anime and story games. It's pretty much what we do here. All the good vibes. Damn, boy, you chugged that like crazy. He said,
It gave me a brain freeze.
"Oh, yeah, you felt that shit in your head, huh?"
Yeah, that shit was rough.
You know
It's
about
been a minute.
the brain freeze thing, right?
You put your tongue on top of your
It's
mouth.
absolute cap. Don't believe the bullshit. It's cap. You know that.
So do you have a real alternative that I need to
No.
know about or okay?
No, it was that.
All right, that was it. Okay.
It
All
was
right,
that.
for sure. All right, so Zxykken, this is one of my dogs. We've been rocking with each other I've been in GA for like I want to say a year now.
Yeah, it's been just
But-
over a year almost with this new birthday here coming up.
Yeah, man, we're excited for that.
Mhm.
So let's just get right into the meat and potatoes of things, Zxykken.
Ooh.
So let's talk about your journey in content creation, your start. Where did we start at?
Well, we started way back long ago. What was that? Almost 3 years ago now, just before my son was born. Actually, just after he was born, because Zxykken, if you didn't know, is actually a play on words off of his name, Zayden. So, because I just wanted him to, I just wanted my kids to grow up and be like watching my videos in school, and be like, it's Zxykken. Oh, but you're Zayden. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. Anyway, so that was like 3 years ago. We are still playing the same game really that we started rocking with long ago. Fortnite. It's kept us stayed near and dear, kept us going, kept us vibing. We've kind of expanded a little bit from there though. We've gone from this corner of my closet. This is where we are now. We were just 2 feet over there in that corner for a little bit, and this tiny little desk, Dad. This tiny little desk.
It's okay. Look, I'm in the corner too. Like, let me full screen so they can see my little setup. Like, this is the corner of my living room right here. I put it in the corner, so I got 2 walls. Not even 2 walls. This where the lights are at. That is my kitchen cabinet, actually.
Let's go.
So you know you gotta work with what you got, man.
Absolutely.
That's what that's half the battle.
Absolutely, it is. Half the battle is trying to find out what way to get it set up and get it going.
So before we get too deep into this, this is my memory lost me a little bit. I was supposed to ask this at the beginning because the way this goes is you have until the end of this podcast to answer this question. Okay, so you have some time to think on it.
Okay.
It's 2 questions. What would be your best piece of advice for a new content creator? And what was the best advice that's ever been given to you as a content creator?
Oh,
so you have some time to think on that. We're gonna swing back to that at the end. So at the end, we're gonna answer that question. So give you a little bit of time.
Sure. Okay.
So Global Alteration. So
GA.
So for those that don't know, Global Alteration is the org me and Zxykken are a part of. Zxykken has more of a leadership role in the organization. Let's talk about how this started with you and GA.
GA. Oh man, Global Alteration. So a few years ago, I met Irrelevant Rob through an org called Team Premid when I first started streaming. I joined a team called Team Premid on Twitter. Didn't last very long in their organization just because I felt like it was going to be a better move kind of staying solo. But then not even a week later, Rob hit me up and he said, I have this genius idea. I want you to be a part of it. Here's this. We're starting an org. It's me, Savvy, and we want you to join it. So I actually do have the honor of being one of the founding members, being one of the very first few members of the team. So I've had a pleasure. I've had an absolute joy watching everything kind of grow from where we started, seeing the different content creators and the different people that we've brought into the team, the family, and just kind of what we've really started cultivating here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All right, so here's a question. Don't feel like you're obligated to answer, but you are obligated to answer.
Sure.
Who's your favorite GA member? No, I'm not gonna do that to you. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. We're not doing that.
Me.
But I actually got a funny story about how me and Rob met. We both got approached by some guy, not saying no names, because it's kind of shit talking said person. He had made a tweet saying, "I'm looking for 2 content creators that I can guide to success." Right? He said, "You know, I'm gonna add you to my Discord. I'm gonna give you the tools, and we're gonna make you an amazing streamer." Right? So on paper, I was like, that sounds cool, man. Like, I'll do it. And apparently Rob was thinking the same way. Let's do it. And before I could even get into it, I got a DM from Rob. Said, "Hey, man, we haven't talked, but I saw you added in that Discord. Don't do it." I was like, "What?" He was like, "I talked to the guy for like a couple hours. He's pretty much like not even like giving me positive criticism. He's just telling me like, this is like what I'm doing is bad. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing that." And he said he was being super controlling and stuff like that. He's like, "Just don't do it." He said, "You keep doing your own thing. I'm sure your content's amazing. Stay blessed." Right? So I was like, "Oh," so I respectfully told the guy, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm a pass. Stay up though." And then about probably 6 months later, Rob hit me up like, "Hey, I've been keeping an eye on your content, and you know, you've been doing your shit, man. So stay on top of it. And you know, we're starting this org, and we want you to be part of it." And at the time, I turned it down, not because I thought I was better than anybody, not because
For sure.
I just felt like I wasn't consistent enough with my content. I told him, as of right now, I don't have a stream schedule. I don't have a YouTube schedule. I stream when my kids aren't home, and that's my schedule. That may be once a week. That might be once a month. And I told him, I said, I don't want to commit myself to anything that I feel like I can't fully commit to. And he said, "I get that, but just know, we're welcome you in. Don't worry about that." So I'll just have to wait a little bit. And then he hit me up about probably 3-4 months later. He's like, "Hey, man, I see you've been more on your grind. I've seen you been posting your clips. You've been streaming a lot more. The offer's still on the table." And that's what I accepted.
Cool. Okay.
And that's when I met all y'all.
Let's go. That's awesome.
All right, so move with
Holy cow.
Definitely. And it's great people, great vibes for anyone watching the podcast. Definitely, if you haven't followed the Global Alteration page on Twitter, it's a must follow. I'll have that link in the description. And it's a bunch of great content creators from all walks of the earth. Not literally, I mean kind of literally, but people that play first-person shooters. We got a Valorant team. Zxykken's a killer Fortnite player.
They're crazy.
I play only sports games, and we got some just chatters from all walks of the life, man. And you definitely need to check everybody out.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of people that you can tune into all sorts of flavors that you get.
Oh man, ooh, this beer's a lot better when you're sipping it. I forgot to
Mm,
ask. See, I'm a little bit rusty.
that's okay.
What do we drink? What do we drink in Zxykken?
We got that pure leaf sweet tea. Mm. We don't drink alcohol over here, but
See,
we are. You know
go
what I
ahead,
mean?
Bob.
Oh, you're good. We don't drink alcohol over here. We are 420 friendly, but we got tea. Good
See,
old tea.
when I started this podcast, I was under the impression that everybody's alcoholics like me, and I think I've only had one person come on here and actually be drinking beer with me. Not saying like
That's
it's
funny.
still a vibe
Sure,
regardless.
for sure.
But like when I first started, I was like, everybody's gonna come here. They're gonna be pounding beers with me. We're
Yeah,
gonna be drunk. We're gonna be rambling, and then now it's a different vibe, but still a vibe nonetheless.
I get you. I get you. That's funny as hell, though. It's funny how those things kind of work out, how they kind of play out when you have a really concrete idea or a concept for something in your head, and it could go any sort of ways, obviously, but especially when you include other people or somebody else, even it is not a recipe for chaos, but more like a recipe for uncertainty, because you never know what you can get.
So, what would be, as a streamer, what would be your dream endorsement?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so specify endorsement.
So it got big pause. It got bigger and bigger as the podcast went on and on. So the first person said like a streaming company, right? I forget what it was. It was like a candy company.
Okay.
And then somebody said Elgato, right? Which I thought was a fire answer.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, what was it? I forgot, but eventually someone said like Red Bull, or somebody said Bud Light. So this could literally be anything, any company that is gonna. You could be filming a commercial for this company. You could be, giving away their merch. What's your dream company that you want to be supported by?
A dream company that I would want to be supported by. No cap. Wow, I'm on the spot. I'm thinking. Yeah, I would probably have to say Dr. Pepper. Probably. Dr. P would be a really cool sponsor to have.
You heard it here first, folks. Zxykken's down with the DP.
DP. Whoa. Oh, pause. Pause. Oh no.
I'm over here drinking, beer, a man's drink. I hate when people say that, because, like, as much as I love beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll always be my go-to drink. Like, once again, not an alcoholic, but it'll always be my go-to drink.
Sure.
But I drink White Claws. I love a White Claw. I will drink, what else? I'll drink mixed drinks. I just happen to prefer a beer. A beer is in no way more manly than a White Claw or a Sex on the Beach or whatever the fuck you want to drink. I hate when people be like, "Oh man, drink a man's drink." I will gladly. You toss me a White Claw, I'll down that bitch like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I just personally hate like super elitist like left or right, not like left wing or right wing, but like super like you have to be one way or the other, left right like standpoints. Like okay, Samsung or iPhone, just pick the phone, just grab a phone and go.
And with that, it's more like what you're comfortable with, because I used to have an Android, right? For my entire life, I was team Android. And funny story, wifey actually made me get an iPhone because she wanted to FaceTime me.
Yeah, I knew it.
So
I knew it.
now I'm super comfortable with the iPhone operating system
Sure.
because when I got it, I was like, I don't even know how to use
He
this.
said, "What is this?"
But now I couldn't see myself going back to an Android just because the fact that I would be unfamiliar with the operating system. So, like you said,
100%.
like, and
It's
one
all
thing I
preference,
cannot
baby.
support though, I will not support this, and I will talk shit to these people to their face. I hate IPA drinkers, not just people who drink IPAs. You're cool, but I hate people that like talk about IPAs like the superior
Bro,
beer.
they only drink IPAs. Oh
Exactly.
my
Like
gosh,
I'm
I
not
get
a
those from
fan of
people in work at
IPAs.
work all the time. What do you got on draft? What kind of IPAs do you have on draft? They always say IPA a certain way.
And I'm not a fan of IPAs. If you hand me one, I'm gonna drink it. I'm a simple man. But like I said, I don't say my beer is better than the White Claw because I'm
Right?
a, like so I hate when like I hate IPA drinkers who just feel like they're so superior to everybody.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Like I said, bro, it's like they say IPA a certain, not like the way they say it, but like they try to say IPA differently. It feels like, I don't know.
It's like they're like this. Mm, I could taste those hops. Those hops are.
And it
Ooh, I could
tastes so
tell.
great. Wow,
I could tell
love.
they slow brewed that. Like I'm like, dog, chill out, please.
Oh man, just drink it. Just finish your drink.
Yeah, just finish your drink, man. I drink to get drunk, and
The-
IPAs will do that. They
oh
will though.
yeah, they will hit
I,
you, and they're heavy. I've heard.
I learned that the hard way for our first charity stream. Well, my first charity stream with GA. I don't know if you were there
I
for my
remember
block.
that. No, I was there for your block.
Yeah, so I set guidelines like first donation I'm gonna chug a beer, first like
Actually, I
$25 I'll chug
donated
another
during your
beer,
fucking block.
and it was supposed to be like every $25 I'll chug a beer or something like that. I think I ended up getting like 150 or
Yeah, you
something
hit one. You hit
super
like
out of
160.
pocket.
You were crazy.
And I forgot to buy cheap beer the day before. Also, granted, it was 7 a.m. our time.
I was so early.
I'm chugging these IPAs, these
So
11,
early.
12% beers,
And it's
and
not even at 10 o'clock in the morning.
it's not even 10 o'clock. And I'm taking these shits back. And next thing you know, like I'm done streaming. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And it all hit me all at once. And I laid on the couch. I'm not even going to bed because I don't know if I can make it to bed at this point. I actually threw up on the living room floor. It was rough.
Bro,
It was
I
rough.
think I've only thrown up a couple of times, but it's definitely they're all memorable times. And one of them, my wife, it's the one and only time my wife's ever seen me puke. But she moved me, and I literally begged her not to. I was like, "No, let
Just
me."
leave me. You just
I
want
was-
to like
I was-
stop the
I-
motion.
my face is in this toilet bowl, right? And it's like 2 a.m. and she just brought me home from this party, and we're sitting here, and she's like, "Isaiah, it's time to go to bed." I'm like, "I'm already in bed. I am here. Let me do my thing. I'll come to bed when I damn well please." She picks me up, and immediately I just feel it, and I go, "No, put me back down." It was so bad.
Wifey see me the first time wifey I threw up at home in front of her was I was trying to hang out with the young kids when I was a general manager at Taco Bell. I was always Taco Bell's a young man's game, right?
Oh my gosh.
You start at Taco Bell when you're 17, 18. If you're 21 at Taco Bell, you're kind of age. You're older.
Unless you're like management.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I ended up being a GM at Taco Bell when I was maybe 24 until I was like 27.
Yeah.
I was a general manager at Taco Bell. But I was a cool general manager, right? Like I was that, oh, you request a day off? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. You're 5 minutes late. You're all good. And I was the guy who, like, if someone called out, I didn't bitch about it. I like, or if someone called out for the night shift, or like I wouldn't call, like I would move somebody from my shift to the night shift, and I would work understaffed. I was a cool general manager. They loved me. They would invite me to the parties. They would all that. and I would refuse. I'm like, I'm this a kid's game. I'm too old for this. And then one time, my wife was like, go, have fun." And we had a newborn baby at the time. Esmeralda had to be like 3 months. So I was like, "This is a trap." But all right, I'm gonna go.
This is a
And
trap. Hey,
these
yo.
kids were feeding me shots. We were playing drinking games. We were going crazy.
Oh no.
And my friend drove me home, and I got home, and I thought I was good the whole drive home. I was like, "Man, like I'm all right, you know." And I got home, threw up all over the floor. And her biggest thing, she's like, "I don't care that you're drunk. I hate fucking cleaning up your throw up." She's like, "You never make it to the toilet."
That's funny as fuck.
So now anytime I drink, like in public, because she knows when I'm at home, I drink what I'm gonna drink. But
Yeah.
anytime I drink in public, she's like, "Are you like drunk? Or are you gonna throw up drunk?" I'm like, "I'm just regular drunk." Oh, okay. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
we're good. Cool.
All
We
right.
have-
So let's move
we got some
on. We've been ranting for a while.
I know.
But that's the best. I think that's the best. I try to do an interview style, but at the same time, like I like to make it like a just chatting also.
Yeah.
So one thing that from the very jump I recognize about your profile is that you're an advocate for autism awareness.
Yes. Very big advocate.
And that's something I rock with because there's all kinds of different it's a spectrum, right?
Sure.
Like my son has ADHD. He's on the spectrum of ADHD. There's severe, there's not so severe. So speak about how you like show awareness to autism while you're streaming or in your content in general.
So in the content, I mean, really, we try to just show the personality behind the diagnosis, if you will, because a lot of the people, or I guess a lot of the times when you think of autism, it almost dehumanizes the person that you're thinking of. And so really what we try to do on the channel or like with the content and everything is we try our best to just show the personality, show the human being behind the autism. We try to make them we try to like educate people on what autism really is, what it could look like, what it how you could interact with it, like kind of like how you, I guess not like should interact, but because I'm not going to tell you how you should interact, I'm not a professional, but as somebody who is autistic, it's like hey, how could you really, in this situation, how could you apply like your knowledge of autism to this person? Like, okay, are you able to identify blah blah blah, this overstimulation, this thing, that thing, and are you able to accommodate? Are you willing to accommodate? Are you able to help? Are you willing to help? Or are you maybe causing part of the problem? Not causing the problem, because that's super negatory, I feel like, but
I think in a sense, not to put words in your mouth, but like anything, there's triggers, right?
Thank you.
Not necessarily saying you're causing the problem, but I have anxiety, not comparing the two, but I have anxiety, and there's triggers to anxiety.
100%.
And one of my triggers, my wife hates it to death. I have a phobia of balloons.
Really?
Right? And I don't know what it stems from. I have no clue what it stems from. But since I was a kid, I hate loud noises in general. Sure. I hate fireworks. Sure. I can deal with fireworks now because fireworks, you know what to expect. You see the fuse, the fuse goes down, you know the noise is coming, right? With a balloon, they're around, kids are playing with them, and you don't know when they're gonna pop. So I tell wifey, like, no balloons in the house, at birthday parties, at the baby shower. Like,
Oh
Like I
yeah,
can't control if we go to somebody else's baby shower. I can't tell them not to have balloons,
totally,
right?
totally.
But
I get that.
but I have severe anxiety anytime we go to these kids' birthday parties, to these baby showers, because where there's balloons, even if they're decorations, they end up coming down and the kids end up playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just waiting for it to pop. So
Mm-hmm.
that's I definitely get. So whether like not to get too personal, if this is too
Sure.
personal, we can skip this. What are some things that may trigger you?
Bro, I hate being touched too much. So I'm a very so textures. Textures are a very big thing for me. Uh, as these ones are very like generic autism ones. Like anybody who has autism really like on a tenfold scale. This is how they feel about it. Textures, loud noises, or like you were saying, those or just things being constantly loud, like so loud that you can't think, whether it's not like maybe a loud bang where it's quick and over, but like where it just doesn't stop, consistent noise. um the biggest one, if something doesn't go the way I planned it, it's so small, so and it's not like life ending, but if something is if change, and I don't want to say the word change, but if something is different than the way I expected it to be, expected it to go, or had a plan for it to be, it's the end of the world as you know it, bro. I'm a light it up.
So on that note, like I feel you 100% on that because in every aspect of my life, right? With wifey, say it's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm like, I don't care. I say, how long are we gonna be at your parents' house tomorrow?
Yep.
And she says, well, I don't know. She said, why? We won't be there long. I said, it's not about how long we're gonna be there. I just want to know what time do we have to get up? What time do we have to get the kids ready? What
Mm-hmm.
time do we have to be at my parents' house? And then what time do we have to leave to be at your parents' house? I don't care how long we stay. I just need to
I
know
just
what
need to
time
know
you want
these
to get
things.
there and what time you want to leave. Or
Uh-huh.
for my job, right? We have I do pest control. We have anytime appointments or we have actual like timed appointments, right?
Sure.
And I told my wife, I said it's the worst thing in my world. Like literally, it blows my whole world when a customer they have like an anytime appointment, and then I text them like, "Hey, I'll be there in an hour," and they say, "Could you come after 4?" And I tell her, I say this is just because if there's an appointment for 4 o'clock on my route, I'm mentally prepared to be working until 4 o'clock,
Sure.
right? Because I don't like to be working that late personally. But if I know the day before, okay, I got a 4 p.m. appointment, I'm gonna be working till 5 o'clock. I'm mentally prepared.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about now. Okay,
But
no, I
then,
get. I'm on the
yeah.
same page, bro.
So then I wake up, boom, boom, run through my day. It's 12 o'clock. I text this customer, I'm gonna be there in an hour. I'm not gonna be home till 4. My whole mind explodes. I'm pissed off. I'm sad. I'm
Mm-hmm.
irritated. Everything at once.
Everything is your whole brain screen, bro. People, if I all of a sudden I find out I have to close tonight, it's like, what?
Same thing. When I was at Taco Bell, if you ask me, say it's a Thursday, right? If you ask me, I'm working Thursday, they say, hey, could you close tomorrow? Yep, let's do it. But if you call me at 6 o'clock, no, let's even say 3 o'clock, say, hey, could you come work a 5 to 1?
No,
My mind, my body gets warm.
bro. I get like you know that tingle you get in your back, and you're like,
Yep,
oh shit, I
yep.
don't know what to do with it.
Is that if you would have
Oh,
just asked me yesterday, I would have said yes. I'm gonna politely text you back. No, I
mm-hmm,
can't do it.
mm-hmm. Nah,
I
bro,
already have my whole night planned.
my dumbass will still say yes and then fume about it the whole way there.
But then it's just like if you say no, you feel bad. You feel like, oh, they're gonna feel like I let them down. They're gonna feel like I'm
Mm.
unreliable. They're gonna feel it's a terrible like mentally it's a terrible game to
How do
be
you
in.
feel about that whole like okay, so you know that quiet quitting type of like mentality thing that's going on right now, that whole quiet quitting concept? As how old are you?
I am
You're
28.
28? I'm turning
Yeah.
26 in a week. Uh Sorry, my brain stopped working. Yeah, as somebody, because you and I are both dads, we're both parents, we both kind of grew up around the same like time frame. The world is so much different now than it was, say, pre 2010, right?
Definitely.
Pre 2010, totally different world. Yeah, I'd even say pre 2015, but like
I would say 2015 kind of feels like
the
when things
cusp
took
of
a
everything really just crazy. Like technology, everything. Like, yeah, you still had it, but no careers were being made just like overnight every single day, all the time like that until like 2015, 2016, I think. But like 2010, you that mentality of like I give everything to work. My job is my life. When they call me, I show up. When I get when I hear somebody look at me and say, "Oh, I haven't called out in 6 years."
you're better
What?
than me.
My dad used to get on my ass that all the time. I just never, me personally, I think everything can get taken too far, but where's your head at with that whole quiet quitting concept of like the job could easily replace you, but you can't easily replace the job.
Alright, so
Is how
I'm gonna
dare.
answer this question twice,
Sure,
if that makes sense. I'm gonna give a real answer, then I'm gonna give you a story time type answer.
sure.
As a general manager, I'm all for it. When when I was working at Taco Bell, I didn't get mad if people called out. If they were sick, granted, I would get pissed off if you called out because you had a concert to go to.
Yeah,
Because if you requested it off, I always gave it to you off. But if you were sick, don't show up. If I called you to cover somebody else's shift, you said no, don't feel bad about it. You know, show up, give me the same energy I give you.
yes,
And now, as a regular entry level employee, I'm not gonna say I'm a quiet quitter. I don't like that term, but I do what my job entails. I finish my
yeah.
route. What they give me is my job description. I do those things. When they come out with new things that we're supposed to do on every house I service, I do those things we need to do the service.
Mm-hmm.
But if they ask me to pick up extra stops, I don't feel bad about not picking up those stops. Now,
Sure.
granted, if it's early enough in the day and I'm on track to finish early, I'll do the extra stops. It's not a big deal. But I don't feel bad when I don't. I don't feel bad when I call out anymore. I would say give the job the energy that if you see this job as a career, then yeah, do those extra things. You know, if you want to move up in the company, do those extra things.
Totally.
But if you're the job that's just paying the bills you want to get, if you're not happy with your job,
If it's a
don't do
stepping
those.
stone,
Yeah, if it's a stepping stone, do it. But I don't see myself not shitting on my job. They pay my bills. They don't treat me bad at all. But I don't want to be at this job in the next 2 years.
sure.
So I do what I need to do to get paid and not get fired. Just say what it is.
Yeah.
Now, the second aspect to this is I grew up watching my dad be that thing that you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad, he gave his all to his job. To the point where that's why I learned that mindset from
Sure.
that, you know, you got to give everything to your job. Like when I was at Taco Bell as like a crew member, he would like literally he would see the phone ring knowing who was calling. Boy, you
Mm-hmm.
better pick up that shift. You better go make that money. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
Now, when my dad started to get sick, his job didn't treat him that well, right? There was a point where he couldn't work too much, and they made him feel bad about that. And I had a heart to heart with him. We were on the patio, and he told me, he was like, you know, fuck this company. And I never seen my dad. He's been with the same company for since I was like 6 years old, probably younger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, actually, definitely younger. because there was days when they didn't have a babysitter for me, and he was a city bus driver, and eventually moved up to a supervisor in the company, an office job. And there was days when I would be on the city bus all day with him while he was driving the city bus.
That's
So
crazy.
to see him finally say like this job didn't do shit for me, it opened my eyes, honestly. Like, he's been with this company for 25 years. And, they paid him his disability. They paid him his unemployment. But they kind of treated him like shit his last couple of months there. So that's when I was like, you know what? And my dad told me the same thing. Take care of yourself. So that's when I was like, it really opened my eyes. I'm like,
Totally.
I don't owe nobody shit. I don't.
That's
Except my
right.
family and my kids. I brought my kids into this world. I owe it to them. That's about it.
That's
Even
right. My
wifey.
wife and
No
my
disrespect
kids.
to not even wifey. I don't owe her shit.
She chose this.
She chose this. She chose this lifestyle.
Listen, I'm a salesman. I convinced her, so I say I owe her. I had to
you
do
watch
some convincing.
you watch Bernie Mac?
Yeah.
I convinced her with the dick. That's what I convinced her with.
I convinced her with the dick.
Oh man. All right, so let's get back to some of these questions.
Anyway.
So what is your favorite stream that you ever had?
My first one so far.
Okay, and what happened in that first stream?
I hit live for the first time. That's it. Like, so for me, and this is I'm gonna be super vulnerable and super real with you for a second. My biggest struggle has been mentally for me has been consistency. I hate with a passion that I haven't been able to be as consistent with my content as I want to be, as I've planned to be, because I want nothing more than to impact and to make an emphasis, not an emphasis, and I want to make an impact on people's lives. And so me not being able to do that as regularly as I want to is just super frustrating for me, especially probably being autistic. I think definitely plays a hand in that, because I do so much planning and then it may not go the way I want it to. I haven't streamed. I don't do content as much as I want to. So for me, there haven't been very many like memorable things that I would say I've really done as far as streaming, because nothing that I've been able to do has really been planned out or thought out or like executed, except for maybe like a charity stream planned for me. Most of my streams are like 30 minutes to an hour long. If you ever look at the channel, those are the average streams. They're supposed to be much much longer than that, and it's just a matter of mental health and everything like that. It's so up and down. Either my wife has anxiety and ADHD and depression, so I mean she battles with all sorts of stuff, and when I'm back here, she's got the kids by herself, so it's a struggle. You know what I mean? So it's super hard to, I guess, say that, to pick something that I would say, yes, this is the one that I loved that I did, because I haven't done that yet.
I love that answer, because I know you watch a lot of the same content creators I watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watch Think Media at all.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
And that's their motto. Just press live, or just was it? No, their motto is something along those lines.
It's just. Oh my gosh.
It's gonna kill me. I can't remember.
Watch, we're gonna end this too, and you're gonna DM me. I'm gonna DM you and be like, "Oh my god!"
Just press record. That's what it is. Just press record.
Okay.
And that's like, I can't tell you how many times because I got a small gap to go live. If I can get home early enough, I got until 5:30. That's my window. So as early as I can get home until 5:30, that's my window.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how many times I got home at 3:45, and I'm like, but if I stream, it's only gonna be an hour, and I'm tired. I'm not gonna be able to give that energy. And it turned out to be an amazing stream.
Oh yeah.
But also on the same accord, I would say one thing, like you said, your streams are 30 minutes to an hour. That's
Yeah.
my money spot. That's my money spot. Anything after an hour and a half, I'm giving you like not a lot of energy at all. Like, but that first hour, I'm
Yeah.
banging. I'm responding to the chat like crazy.
Totally.
I'm talking in the game like crazy. So, until you're a full-time streamer, there's no reason to go live for longer than an hour.
So, sorry to
Go ahead.
interject. Go ahead. I lost mine. I actually lost mine.
So even if you have 2 hours of free time, if you know you can only give an hour of good energy, spend that other hour either one, if you need the time to relax.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're done and you still feel you're up to it, edit that VOD into some TikToks and record a YouTube video.
So
People kill me when I say this.
Facts.
YouTube videos are a lot easier to record than streaming. Because for a YouTube video, go ahead.
I almost disagree. So that and the reason why I say that is because that right there is the reason why I can't get back into my stream room. Is the reason why that is because I plan all of my streams to be recordable content. To maybe I plan all of my streams to be 4 videos, 2 videos, 3 video ideas all at once, so I can just record those, bang them out, and get whatever clips or TikToks out of the. I can get in here for 2.5 hours. I'll get in here for 3 hours, but all of that content that I just planned out, I will never get to touch again. I don't get the time to edit it. I don't get the time to post it or mess with it really, because the toll that it takes me being in here, right, on myself, on my family, there's so much recoup time. I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things where like like planning it out that much is what. If I did more pop-up streams, basically, like if I did more pop-up streams and it was just like, hey, we're doing this and whatever, we're just gonna vibe for an hour, I could probably be way more consistent with that. But that's not how I do my content.
So you're misinterpreting what I said.
Okay, maybe.
Because when I'm talking about it's easier to record videos than stream, I'm not talking about editing. I'm talking about as far as if I have a hard day at work, if I have a video planned and I plan it while I'm at work, I'll put little footnotes.
Sure.
It's easier for me to give 10 minutes of full attent energy to a camera. I could be tired before and be tired after, but it's easier for me to just take 10 minutes to press record the video.
Absolutely.
Than it is for me to stream.
Sure.
Because streaming you can't turn it off.
No, you can't.
Recording, you could be tired before, you could be tired after. You just have to give full energy for that 10, 15, even 20 minits. Now, editing, that's a whole different beast.
That's a whole
different beast. But that's why I'm saying I give credit to full-time streamers being live for 8-10 hours a day.
Seriously.
And they don't miss a beat. They don't skip a beat at all. All right, so I got to get to these couple of questions to wrap it up before the kids get home.
Yeah.
So say a new up-and-coming company. They approach you. They said, hey, I see your energy on streams. I see your energy on Twitter. We trust you, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be the manager of our social media department. We need 3 people to give our first codes to that are going to represent the company well. Who are those 3 people going to be?
Oh, okay. All right. So off the bat, my head immediately goes to my usual go-to 3 people. We've got that gaming dad, Mr. Irrelevant, and it's MVK. Those 3 would absolutely be my pick.
I didn't pay him to say that either. So don't
Nah.
think that. And we spoke about Rob a lot. What about MVK? Is such a positive vibe.
So MVK is
And let's also MVK. What's her at on Twitter? What's the
MVK.
well,
I believe her
I'll pull
at
up
on
the
Twitter
at, but
is literally just A. It's MVK.
oh, there
Yeah,
we go.
it's just AYE. It's MVK. On Twitter, she is. I met her through Rob. Actually, she's a phenomenal content creator. One of the best aunties out there. She coins herself being a streamer auntie. So she's got one of the most amazing communities out there, like most positive, welcoming, diverse, hilarious. I mean, they have these things called Demon Time where they do they just like chill out and just talk about whatever. It's never on YouTube. It's never on YouTube, but they do. But yeah, I have a lot of fun just vibing out with her. She's so nice, so warm, so welcoming, and her community really reflects that. And she has some of the funniest edits in like her stream. She makes her show so engaging and immersive. It's amazing, actually. I take a lot of like things from her.
And that's one thing I've learned about streaming. Streaming's evolved a ton. It used to be you go live, you play your game, you talk to your chat, and leave it at that.
Yep.
But I realized I don't watch a lot of live streams at all. And one person I can literally watch their live stream while I'm working. I just have it in my ear. I'll even like watch it. Is my boy? His name's I Am Matt Mojo. Because he brings the energy. He it's literally like sometimes he streams for 6 hours. Well, it's like a 6-hour YouTube video.
That's crazy.
There's sound effects. There's edits. Because I listen to podcasts, I listen to YouTube videos while I'm working. I put them on and I feel like it's a YouTube video. I don't skip a beat. And it's evolving. Like you said, with the sound effects, the edits, stuff like that. And that was my inspiration to finally get the soundboard set up. Because it's something as simple as a soundboard that it's like, I don't know, it's production.
Yeah,
it's production value to your stream.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It ties all back into just where the way like people curate their content and present themselves. So I think that those three people, like Rob, him being a therapist is such a great thing for him. He's got such a great aspect of like who his community is and like how to talk to them, and he's so open, like that he's so safe to talk to, really.
And then one thing about Rob is the same energy he brings on Twitter, it's the same him on stream.
Oh, he's the same him everywhere.
Which is where everybody, that's where everybody should be. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
But that's just one thing I want to note is it's not acting. And that's one thing I'm trying to do on my streams. I keep it separate from my YouTube videos because most of my YouTube videos are like informational.
Yeah. Totally.
But I'm trying to show more of like who I am on Twitter with my dirty jokes, with my dirty memes, stuff like that. Because that's just how I am.
You know what I used to love when I don't know, you haven't done it in a little bit. your high school, like your throwback posts where you're posting pictures. Yeah, bro, I love those. They make me fucking smile every day.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not saying most, a lot of content creators show a portion of themselves. And I want to say the PG versions of themselves. Some people are genuinely like PG people.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hide who I am. Even if it's just a little bit.
I don't want to stifle. I don't want to censor myself. I just want to present me and be as me as I want to be. You know what I mean?
Because the last thing I want is like, oh, Gaming Dad is positive. He's happy. And then, but I found his Facebook account and he's posting all these dirty memes. But I'm like, that's just, so let me bring that to my streams, to my Twitter. because then there's no surprise. If you don't like my dirty memes, then that's cool.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not saying I post cancelable content because that's not what I'm about.
Sure.
But well, I mean, everything's cancelable to an extent, but we're not going to go into that right now. Because I take everybody's feelings into account, right?
Sure.
One thing I always tell this story. My best friend, he's actually going for his doctorate degree in psychology also, and he's a little bit more mature than I've always been. So, you know, growing up, you say words that are offensive to some. I'm not going to censor myself because this is story time. This is old gaming dad.
Yeah.
Like, I used to say faggot. I used to say retarded. I used to say stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And this had to be like 2013. So I was still of age. And we were playing 2K. And I was like, dude, that's retarded, right? And he was like, hey, man, that's not cool. And granted, this is the same person I grew up saying these kind of things. So I was like, what? Hold on. You went to college and this shit changed you. What are you talking about?
Not that college and it changed.
But then he just broke it down to me. He's like, dude, like, he's like, we're black, right? I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, people say even the N word without the R, like, you know, you're like, hey, man, chill out, right? He's like, now, granted, like, is everybody gonna be upset about the word retarded? No, but there are some people that are.
Totally.
Is everybody gonna be offended by the word gay? No, but there are some people that are.
Absolutely.
So all you gotta think about is, I'm not saying, you know, stop. You know, you sit there and think about your whole vocabulary, but if somebody says a word upsets you, who are you to question it? And that shit really woke me up. It really did a lot, because by me saying like he was dumb for thinking I shouldn't be able to say any of the, like, the word retarded, like, why is he dumb for thinking that way? So it made me really just think about, like I said, I'm trying to censor myself.
Yeah.
But some of the things I used to say, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying those things, dude, because it might upset somebody.
100%. It's all about being aware, right? Being aware and mindful.
But not even like just being aware of like people I'm around. Like,
No.
I I just like don't say those things at all anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be mindful of what you say.
Okay. So, funny story. So my son, we're at Panda Express the other day, and he was like, what is it? So we're sitting next to two guys who are gay, right? Granted, he's 10. Oh, no. He can't read, you know, like social cues.
Fuck.
So he's telling me a story about like at school, and he was like, yeah, you know, I was at school and I was playing with my friend, and then my friend like grabbed my butt. I was like, dude, that's gay. And I'm just hoping the story ended there, which it did. It did. No, it did. 100%.
Oh, thank God.
Like he's like, yeah. But then he's like, I kind of like, you know, gave a little awkward chuckle, like, yeah. And then this was when my wife and the girls were in the restroom. It was just me and him. So we get in the car, and I tell him, I said, Jonathan. He said, what? I said, don't take this as me being mad. I'm not mad. We just need to be a little bit more aware. You know, you're sitting here telling the story, and I said there was two gentlemen next to us who were homosexual. And I was like, because it's hard, because when you're a kid, you can't, like, you don't know these things.
Sure, absolutely.
It was wild, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I can absolutely attest to that. I can't read social cues to save my life because of autism, but you know, I'm 26. I'll never be able to read a social cue in a day of my life. And have it.
Nah, but these, like, not to get canceled. These guys, you couldn't miss it.
Nah, it was on.
Yeah,
It was
it
going
was like
off.
you couldn't miss it. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's just on. Okay, sometimes you just got it.
Yeah. All right,
Sometimes
so
you
let's
just got
wrap
it.
things up before the girls come in and start screaming. So the
Wow!
questions I asked at the beginning. So we'll start with the easier one. I feel
Yeah.
like, what would be your advice to someone that came up to you like, "Hey Zay, I want to start streaming tomorrow." Let's say one of your IRL friends.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your advice to them?
My biggest advice, honestly, is figure out what you want to do with it. Because if you don't have a goal in mind, you will never feel like you're achieving what you want to achieve. Right? Like you'll never feel like you're getting anywhere with it. So like if it's just streaming to stream and you just want to hit the live button and make some friends or talk to people while you're shooting people, go for it. If you are trying to pursue this and you want to make this a career, go for it. What's your goals? What are you wanting to do? What kind of content do you want to create? What platforms are you going to be on? What socials are you going to have that are going to tie and link back to this platform that you're going to be on? You know, that type of stuff. You know, really kind of iron out the details, I guess you could say. Do your research.
I like that because nobody's given me that answer before. Have a goal in mind and go for that goal. I like that.
Yeah, be prepared.
So
Be as prepared as possible.
so here's the harder one, because some people's memories aren't as good as mine. What's the best advice someone has given you for streaming or content creation?
Just post it. Whatever it is, if you can get it out, because consistency, or not even consistency. Yeah, I mean it is consistency really. Posting or being active on the platforms that you're trying to be active on is the best way to get traction. Otherwise, flooding the algorithm is the only way to be in the algorithm unless the algorithm likes you. So
And I would add to that. I always add to this section.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, yes, you want to put out the best content possible, but I've learned from putting out a lot of content what not to post. So I would say you post as much content as you can, and if you look at your metrics, you'll see what's not working. Right? So at the beginning, post everything.
Sure.
And then you'll start to see like, oh, well, why did this video do better than this video? Was it the subject? Was it something I did? Was it? And then you start to notice things and you go from there. So the very last question I always ask, but I got to give a caveat for you. It can't be a GA member.
Okay. Okay.
Because I already got that on lock. I already got some things going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
Who would be one person that you want to see me put on the All Drink to That podcast, and you have to help me get them on the podcast?
Oh, okay. Who would I want to see? Man. And it can't be a GA member? That's not.
If you absolutely can't think of anybody,
but
no. I'd rather it not be a GA person.
You know what? I got it. Have you ever heard of this guy? His name is K. the God.
I have not. No.
All right. Well, K. the God. He's one of the guys that he's him. He is him. He's an anime. He's an anime and variety streamer, RPGs more or less. But great content creator. His vibes are immaculate. His community is hilarious. I love him.
Shoot me. Let me see. Shoot me his on Twitter.
Yeah.
And let's try to make that happen. So, because I always like, that's my favorite. This is my favorite part of the podcast.
Yes.
Is because when I initially started it, I did it with somebody who I was very familiar with, like you.
Yeah.
And then eventually 6 episodes in, I had 3 people I've never even heard of. And it's
That's
it's
sick.
always fun.
I
It's
like
fun to
that.
do with people I know because
Yeah.
it's less interview, more us just talking.
Yeah. You get to
But
shoot the
at
shit a
the end
little
of
bit
the
more.
day, I've met a few of my close, friends from doing this podcast I've never known before. So that's
That's
my favorite part for sure.
that's cool. Yeah. So K dot the God. I'll shoot you his ad on Twitter. Probably after this, and then you can just reach out or
And
whatever. And
actually, I have one
there's
more
some
question
chat.
before we go. Why is it
Let's
on
do it.
my? So you're using the Elgato Wave right now, right?
I am actually using the Elgato Wave
That's
3.
that's amazing because the way that microphone is positioned right now, that's what I miss about condenser mics. Condenser mics, you can put it anywhere in your vicinity and it'll still sound amazing.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not. It's like to your left of you.
Yeah.
It's not even very close to you.
No.
Like this shirt, the MV7 sounds amazing.
Oh
But
yeah.
I got this thing right next to my mouth.
Oh yeah. That thing
If
is
I
in
put
your...
it anywhere, if I put it anywhere else, it's not gonna sound great at all.
Do you know where this beautiful microphone came from, sir?
Uh, uh,
Do you
I don't know. You care to share?
This beautiful microphone is actually a gift, and it's mind you, the only streaming gear gift that I've ever received from my one and only boy, the gaming dad, 25. Oh my gosh. And this thing is
Hell
a beautiful
yeah.
thing. I get so many compliments on my voice or like the microphone quality. So, sir,
Because if I remember right, you were asking in the group chat, right? Like, what's a good microphone I could get? You know, and my biggest thing, I'm not trying to say it was like heartfelt or anything. I love you to death, but I hate selling things because I hate the process. Like,
for sure,
I gotta find someone to buy it. I gotta ship. I gotta,
a pain
So
in the
when you said like, oh, what microphone should I get? I was like, let me just, because the Elgato Wave was on your list.
yes.
I was like, let me just bless the homie.
Ah.
Like,
I appreciate it though. Like that, you have no idea. That blew my mind. My wife was like, "What?" And I'm over here like,
I love it.
"Oh, it was good.
All right,
It's so good."
so final words to everybody who's watching this. Go ahead, go. I got you on the full screen, Brody.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching this. It has been a blast being with you and my boy Gaming Dad here today. If you haven't already, please make sure you are locked into everything that this man does because it's always a banger. It's always the greatest vibes. It's always hilarious. I always have a fantastic time. He's over here on YouTube. He's on Twitter. He's on TikTok. Guys, just make sure you don't miss out on him. And of course, come
less
back
about
to
me.
hang
Where
out on
could
the
they
vibes.
find you?
Me? Oh my. Now you can find me just about everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. No, I'm not on Snapchat. Don't let me lie to you like that. Twitch.
You better not let Crystal find out you're on
I
Snapchat.
know, right? I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and I'm on TikTok. And I always, I always try to stay active as much as I possibly can on those. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But it's sporadic because it's after work, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I work doubles on Friday, and it's restaurant life. It is what it is.
But if you follow him on Twitter, you will get all the updates on his stream.
Oh, absolutely. I post live links. I post all sorts of stuff, clips, and everything. If you want, the biggest thing really is if you guys want some more autism information, some more good vibes, some more mental health check-ins, that's where you're gonna be at. That's what we cover.
Hell yeah. So all his links will be down below. He's gonna comment on the YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube also. So I'll pin his comment on YouTube. Just so it's super easy access. As always, I appreciate everybody who took the time to watch this podcast. I always like to show some love to content creators that I've come across. And in this case, it was, like I said, one of my boys, one of my close homies. So if you guys enjoyed the conversation, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. and let me know some other content creators I should have on here. All right, y'all be safe, man. Peace.
Peace.